Live.
Hey everyone. Happy Monday.
Is it Monday?
Oh my goodness.
It's Monday already, and I feel like I've gotten so much done.
Have you?
Have I? Have I ever? It's Motivational Monday.
Or Make It Happen Monday.
Make it happen Monday. Or just exciting to get the week rolling. Who's motivated?
So how is everybody doing? I know that
I'm super motivated.
I know you are.
Got a lot going on. Hey, Kristen.
Hey, Kristen. So I know that on Friday last week, we talked about overwhelm and how to get out of it. Do you remember? So the tasking was for you to find a whiteboard or find a piece of paper and write down all the things that you want to accomplish. All the things, get it out of your head and put it on paper.
Chunk down on some specifics. Yeah.
And then with that list, then look at all the different things within each category that you need to accomplish, and then stand back and prioritize, and then to take action. So our test for today is how much action have you taken on those things? Because each time that you take action, you will find that the motivation will, or sorry, not the motivation, but the overwhelm will disappear.
And motivation should appear.
Yes.
Hey, Hannah.
Hey, Hannah.
How are you?
So the secret of motivation, you all, the secret, listen.
What is it?
Is action.
Action.
I know it's kind of counterproductive. Most people think that they're going to get motivated and then take action.
Yep.
It actually works backwards. So you take inspired action and then you get more motivated. The more you get accomplished, you get more motivated. The more you accomplish, you get more motivated.
We got to talk about the amount of action.
Yeah. Ooh, that is true.
Because folks, there are some people out there that don't realize how much action they should take. And I always like to say, because I don't really know how much action you're going to take on whatever it is you've got to do, but take whatever you think you're going to do and then times it by 3.
Or 5.
5.
Or 10.
Quadruple it. 10x it, right?
10x it.
It's going to take a lot more effort than you probably think. If we're talking about business specifically, right?
And finances.
We're talking about making money.
Creating something you never created before.
We're talking about sales.
Yes. We say 10x it or even more.
Yep.
We believe that everything is accomplishable. It's just that most people have unrealistic expectations of timeline, and they don't calculate in how much action it takes. It's a universal rule. The more energy you put out into the universe,
yep,
the more you get back to you. So if it's something super, super big, that means your ass needs to get moving. I'm sorry, I'm going to use a cuss word. Yes, your ass needs to get moving. You need to take massive action.
RAS. Your reticular activating system, which means you got to take action to get that working.
In order for that to work.
Because that's going to focus on what you want. So I did a mastermind this past Friday and kind of a little bit of personal growth and development this weekend myself. Actually, Brian Johnson and I attended a Qigong event. Super cool. Breathing, love it, very much into it. So one thing that I kind of took away from this is if you look at your business and you need a certain amount of money that you need to make and just be able to say, I need to make 10 grand, or I need to make 5 grand, or whatever it is for you, whatever that number is. This mastermind, we talked about how you should be able to go back into your business and make that amount of money. And it's kind of funny because I've always been able to do that. And now it's like taking it to a level that's so big. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to just make $50,000 like that? Like, what's going to motivate you, first of all, to go make a massive amount of money or whatever amount you want, but something that's going to stretch the hell out of you so that you're like, you know what? I need to take a massive amount of action. That's something that your business should be able to provide you.
And so for some people aren't motivated by money directly. So how many people do you want to help in order for you to grow the business that you want? And then a byproduct of that is the money that you attract in your life.
Or if you're not motivated by making money, maybe you're motivated by debt. And you need to go out there and you got to get into debt. And the more debt you get into.
Delete.
Either way,
some people's motivation strategies
it's still motivation. whether it's paying it off or making it, it's still motivation. That's what people got to realize.
Well, and if you want to learn more about that type of motivation strategy, come to our 3-day NLP in business, and we'll explain how people are motivated differently.
I just like to focus on making money,
yeah,
not the latter thereof.
Well, some people are highly motivated by pain.
Exactly. So maybe that pain will get them motivated. I'm not saying this is you. This could be anyone you know. It's probably not you.
So the topic of the today is to get those things done. So really focus. Let's talk about 3 priorities that we're going to focus on this week and we're going to knock out. So what are the 3 most important things that you want to get done? And there's usually one that's the most important that the other ones will fall into place.
By the way, we've said this before in our 3-day training, our business training. If you want to make a minimum of 6 figures, at some level, you have to contact 20 people a day. Yeah. Minimum 20. And that's not like voicemails. That's either phone calls, networking.
Texting doesn't count.
I think 30, that number for guaranteed is probably closer to 30 to 35 people a day if you want to make $100,000 minimum.
And it could be face-to-face in person through networking. It could be calling people that you have, a list of contacts and leads. It can be through Facebook, though eventually you need to get them on the phone to where you can close them, or in person. So however you work it is up to you. And we believe that sales doesn't really happen over text. So you want to get them on the telephone.
Absolutely.
Or in person.
You got to make a sale every single day. So 365 days a year, can you make more than 365 sales a year? I mean, you've got to make a lot of sales, which means you've got to make more calls than you actually make sales. Because remember, once you filter out your clients, most of them are either going to say no, or it's not right for them, or it's not the right time.
And not everybody is a client.
Not all clients are clients.
This is something we talk about in the 3-day business.
Which is why you got to make more calls.
Yeah, and for you to be filtering out through the questions and really put on your coaching hat. I talked about this today, Passionista Nation, with Megan Toll, extraordinary woman I'm so proud to be friends with, and also collaborating with in the women's empowerment movement. And she's awesome. And we're talking about sales, and not everybody's your client.
Not all clients are clients.
You don't want everybody as your client.
So that means is those few desperate prospects that linger in the door and you jump on them like a backpack, you got to find more people so you don't have to be so desperate with the few prospects or leads that you have. I see so many people selling no's.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't waste any more time on that no, because you're probably going to keep getting no's.
So a lot of times people will be nice and they won't say no because we're all taught to be polite, and you're really barking up the wrong tree. And usually they will just end up wasting your time because they don't have the boundaries in place for them to stand up for what they want.
Yep. And
so it's really wasting your time. So stop selling no's.
So wasting a massive amount of time. And you're not getting really good and honing your skill set if you're not working with challenged people, like working with the people that say need your services. And they're like, hey, you know what? I could actually get a lot better by working with a higher caliber person, right? Maybe it's time you stretch yourself to get into the new echelon of clientele that you're looking for. Maybe they're going to spend more money with you. Maybe they're going to buy a more expensive product. So definitely.
So another thing to talk about in no's, and bringing us back to our goals and why we started today, which is Motivation Monday and Make It Happen Monday, is to hold yourself accountable to your goals, which means saying no to other people, because you got to guard your time.
Maybe it's refining your goals so that you get even more motivated.
And guard your time and hold your boundaries with others who pull you out of your time flow.
Who get super motivated.
Or even yourself, who maybe you don't have boundaries with yourself and you don't hold yourself accountable to your time blocks.
That's right.
So
you're making too many calls.
So
and you're making too many sales.
Too many. I don't know if that's
more.
Well, how
many more?
Unless it drips into another area of life and takes away time from maybe the family or the relationships where you hold yourself accountable to that.
Of course.
So So what are you going to do this week? What are you going to do to make it happen? What action, what inspired action are you going to take to have all your goals happen this week? And focus on the 3 priorities this week. A lot of people, and I'm very guilty of this. I used to do my planning for the entire week on Sunday, and I would go and I would have this huge expectation of all these things I'm going to accomplish, but it wasn't really realistic. I didn't have that many hours in the day. And if I worked all the way through the evening and the next day all the way to Friday, I don't know if I could have gotten it accomplished. And then what I did at the end of Friday is I would look at my success and I would beat myself up because I didn't get all the things done. And that's counterproductive too. So set yourself up for success. So simplify. What are the 3 things that you're going to focus on this week, and then knock it out and get specific.
And caveat to that is if you're not making the kind of money you want to make, maybe you need to put more into your schedule. Maybe you need to increase that level of, I always like to say good stress, but it's a little bit of stress.
Yeah.
Right? To get more done in a week, to say I'm exhausted by Friday or Saturday or Sunday, whenever your day of rest is. Because I think there's a lot of people that we probably could work a little harder. Yeah.
And of course, you know who you are. Maybe you're the person that tries to jam in everything and take so much action, and you don't allow yourself the rest and renewal. And that's not setting yourself up for success, because then you're going to we're all free from this burnout and, adrenal fatigue and all that stuff. Or maybe you're somebody that sits around and doesn't do anything. And then your unconscious mind makes yourself feel like crap because you have all these goals and things that you want to accomplish, but you're not really taking the action. Your unconscious mind like, come on, get motivated. Let's go.
I know there's times that I am not motivated to make a phone call, not even one. And I just know that if I take that one action and I go, you know what, I'll load up the calls. I'll even look at the phone.
The most painful process is getting ready to get ready.
Wait, my desk is not clean. You know what? I need to go do the laundry.
Right?
No, wait.
Oh, wait, it's time for vacuuming.
I should go make lunch because now I'm hungry and
let's have a coffee.
I've gotten so exhausted. Espresso, please. No.
Maybe it's time for a walk. Oh, the dogs need to go for a walk.
Oh, the dogs need something.
The problem is, you're making yourself miserable. Just rip the Band-Aid off and start taking action. As soon as you take action,
so just do the one thing. Good. So here's the one thing that I know works. And when I do that one call and I'm like, all right, I get one out of the way, and then all of a sudden I maybe have a really good conversation. I'm like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Having great conversations, building rapport, connecting with people, seeing if I can't help them first, of course, right? Give and then receive. And I got to tell you, it's so much fun. Once I get in a roll and you get in that groove, and it's like, wow, this is fun. It's motivating.
Yeah.
It's fun to help people. It's fun to get paid to help people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I mean, I used to suffer from kind of being in a sad sack state most of the time. Or
Hey,
what
Dana.
Most people would, hey, Dana.
This is me,
most people would.
We're gonna be watching you like a hawk, Dana.
Where some people would diagnose as depressed. So one of the strategies that Brandon used to tell me was like, get off your ass and do something. And it was
what are you
true.
Acting depressed about?
Exactly.
Specifically.
Because I was shutting myself away from all people, and I was locking myself in the room, and I wasn't doing anything. And I had all these goals and aspirations, but I wasn't taking action on them. So I didn't feel good. And so the best way to get myself out of my head and start feeling good was when I went out and served. And the best way to serve is to go and sell. Sales as service and service as sales. This is what we talk about in the 3-day business training.
Yes, it is.
And as soon as I got on the phone and I dialed just to make a connection, and for me in the beginning, it was just calling people to have a conversation because I didn't want to put any expectations on it because that was too much pressure for me at the time. And so I just called because I wanted to talk to somebody and I wanted to see if I could brighten up somebody else's day. And by doing that, I brightened up myself and I started feeling better about myself. And before I knew it, I was having a wonderful conversation. And before I knew it, they were dumping their bucket out. And then I had all the ingredients that I needed in order for me to do a sale. And then
somebody said yes.
Yeah.
Somebody said yes.
It's a win-win. I brightened up my day and I brightened up their day and I offered some solutions and vice versa. Wow. What a thought.
So let's recap now that we went down that. So motivation, it's about starting small, get something to get you
Just
going. Something, that one thing that's going to start the momentum shift. Yeah. And what else?
And then each of those little steps.
And it's a numbers game. That's what I was going to say.
Maybe making a call for you is huge. Then just make one. And then be very, very excited and be very, very grateful that you made that call. Maybe it's 20 calls for you. So everybody has a different threshold. Though it is, at the end of the day, I guarantee whether the call was successful or not in terms of closing somebody, the fact that you got out of your own way and you took action and you did something that you weren't doing is a success.
That's a success. That's a win for a lot of people.
This is how I learned how to do sales. In the beginning, it was scary. I felt like shit. I'm going to tell you the truth. I felt like shit usually when I was doing it because I was freaking out. I didn't know what to say. It was hard for me just to sit across from somebody in person to communicate, let alone over the phone. I was doing lots of timeline therapy as I was doing the process. I used to lock myself in his office and do work. And little by little, I got a little bit more comfortable. And each time I was able to say things in a different way. Each time I got learnings, and each time I took the feedback and incorporated it, and I got better and better. It was a progression. We didn't just get where we are today without putting in all the work.
Lots of struggle.
Give yourself some grace of where you are, and remember, every time you pick up the phone or anytime you do something you normally don't do, you are growing. That is the most important part. And to reward yourself for the success that you're having by the learning process.
I have a business coach that told me, when I'm experiencing challenges or problems in my business, right? Maybe somebody's really pissed off. Maybe there's a lawsuit in the business or whatever is going on, right? Debt, receivables aren't coming in, whatever it is. You have to remind yourself that you're still in business for yourself, right? How many people, most people, never make the plunge to being an entrepreneur, right? Because there's not safety and security on this side of the fence. There's just not. So that's why my whole quote was, make your skill set your safety net. So many people need a safety net, then raise the skill set, right? So we're not thinking or focused on falling or failing. We're just focused on getting feedback, changing micro muscle movements.
Yeah.
Change it and recalibrate and go at it again.
Yep.
Yep.
Over and
Constantly.
over and over and over until you get better and better.
Just remember, business has challenges, and that's okay. And it's like, too many people get caught up in the emotion of business. And I've recently been realizing, you know what? Big deal. There's a problem. It's a problem. And there's probably a solution. We just haven't figured it out yet.
And every time you take action and do something you've never done, which is leaving the comfort zone, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago, is you're going to grow and you're going to have more coping mechanisms, and you're going to have more strategies for success. So, we hope to inspire you this week to take some massive action.
Nikki had a good question. Do you review each day your goals and set up for the next day?
Yes.
Absolutely. So the best thing that we do is we do our morning prime. It starts our day off. We've kind of got some new things we've been adding to it recently, and I'm going to add some breathing to it, which is even more breathing than what we used to do.
Yes. So we write out our
daily goals, weekly goals.
We drop it in our future timeline, which is a process we teach in the 3-day business. And we also teach in the hypnosis training that's coming up in September.
So here's the good point. If you're not getting motivated by, let's say, 10 a.m., chances are you need to look at your morning routine.
Yeah.
That's something that all the gurus, all the guys that are out there that are extremely successful.
Darren Hardy,
Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins. All these guys talk about having a morning routine, right? A ritual that you can get behind. Our good friends, Steph and Shay, they have their morning
beautiful routine.
We all have to get and find our morning ritual so that we can get behind that to help with that motivation.
It pulls you out of your funk. And if you're anyone is like me, sometimes I wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
No, that never happens.
No.
That's not even possible. Not in this house.
Oh, crap. Woo. Or even after the mother of dragons.
The mother of dragons is out.
It pulls you out of your funk immediately. And as soon as that we get done with our goal setting process and breathing exercise, getting back into our body and priming our body for success, I feel super, super motivated. And I'm like laser focused on all the things that we want to get done. And it also creates a ripple effect in the universe, if you believe in such things, that you'll start attracting scenarios to create the goals that you put out there.
So try to do something physical, fitness, workout, walk, jog, run, swim. We're going to get back on our Barton Springs swim now that we are back in town.
It's our morning ritual is go to Barton Springs and take a
have
dip.
Some kind of meditation or something to quiet the mind.
It's also good to have some sort of exercise in there to where you get your body into flow, because a lot of times when you wake up, you may have emotions that need to be released in the body. So getting yourself into, or getting your body primed for success and freeing up all that energy.
Yes. So finding what specifically? Finding some quiet time for yourself. Maybe it's a little bit of reading. Maybe it's watching a video or motivational video or studying. I always try to find about 15 to 20 minutes in the morning to read a book that I need to finish up or something that I'm interested in. So finding some quiet time, meditation, and workout all in the morning. If you can get that done before, let's say 8 a.m., 8:30, the latest, you're already finding more energy to get motivated to catapult you through your day.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Absolutely.
All right, good.
Cool. So thank you so much for joining us. Let us know if you have any other questions about goal setting and the morning stuff. Again, we cover a lot of the stuff in the 3-day business training, also the hypnosis training coming up. And I don't know if anybody is interested, but the hypnosis training is the best way to get in touch with your unconscious mind.
It's the best way to build rapport with your unconscious mind if you're out of rapport with it.
Because remember, your unconscious mind is the mind that creates the behavior to attract and create all the things that you want in your life.
The domain.
So it is like the trap door to all the secrets that you have, all the wisdom inside. So if you get that in alignment, you can create anything you want.
If your self-talk is more negative than it should be, right? Or if it's negative and you're telling yourself negative things,
that doesn't happen.
Chances are
you're out of rapport with yourself.
You're out of rapport with yourself, and hypnosis is a great way to learn self-hypnosis, which we teach in the 3-day training, and to start feeding your unconscious mind some positive suggestions that maybe you haven't heard in a while from yourself.
It's a super fun process. It allows you to take you down deep and install all fun stuff at the unconscious level.
It's a very fun process.
Yes, it is.
Should we do a little double induction?
So if you want to
Should we end with a little double induction? Should we give them a little treat?
Sure.
I'm not saying that you're going to trust your unconscious mind.
Anything you put your mind to,
if
that you have all the greatness
success,
inside of you. You have success
health,
strategies, accomplishment,
wealth, abundance.
You have grace. You have success.
Your unconscious
and money.
mind
Has you're like a money magnet, and everything's going to happen like that,
healing.
like that,
perfect
like that
healing.
at the unconscious level,
Should
and everything's going to integrate in such a way so it's easy for you to utilize and easy to remember.
Wealth, success,
you always know the right thing to do or say, and all the things are just going to come into your world easily and effortlessly. All the people are going to come streaming into your realm because they're going to be so excited about helping you.
If you felt
all
good,
your goals
you
that you're going to go and take action on, take action is going to be created like that, like that, like that. It's going to be so
create your goals
all the
easily,
stuff is going to come into fruition so easily, almost automatically. All you got to do is trust your unconscious mind and believe in yourself, because you have it all inside of you.
Believe in yourself. That's right.
Hope you enjoyed it. We love you guys.
See ya. Bye.